Entonces ahorita vamos a checar los archivos principales de todas las misiones. Se investiga el centro de suministros, misión 1. No tiene archivos. Contacta al comandante sandinista.
Snake, I rigged that radio so you can...
Archivos de información de Miller. ¡Ah, su madre!
Kaz, what kind of shape is that plant the professor gave us in?
First time I laid eyes on it, I thought it was some kind of joke. It was a giant bird.
Chinga, pero esas sí las escuchamos. ¿Cómo está el chavo este? Rescate Fulton, Galvez.
Still can't believe Professor Galvez was KGB.
Creo que se las escuchamos. Ya no sé cómo hacer esto. Se supone que iba a subir esto en video, pero ya, llega su madre. Vamos a escuchar ya todo lo que queda más para saber qué show.
Going by this map, you've got a lot of different terrain types between you and the hut where the Sandinista Comandante is being held.
Looks that way, doesn't it? Starting with jungle.
The enemy won't be able to see you very well, but your visibility won't be so hot either. Stay alert. Next, you've got the swamps along the river. Make sure you get a good feel for how robust surveillance is before diving in.
Will
Okay.
do.
Finally, there's the boat repair cabin. The Commandante's in there. It's a key enemy outpost, and security is going to be tight. You may have to let brute force do the talking. You still have a long way to go, Snake. Use caution and don't make a racket out there. Got it?
Ay, cómo les gusta armármela de pedo, va.
The direct... That's an armor...
Más que son los mismos, ¿va?
Kaz, what kind of shape is that plant the professor?
Sí, son los mismos. Entonces vamos a escuchar aquí esto. A ver, para ver qué falta.
Remember that habit Paz had, Snake? How she always had her index finger on her upper lip like this?
Yeah. It bugged me ever since we first met her. Never figured her for a snuff user.
I can't believe we never noticed.
She used the kind where you keep a pouch of leaf in your upper jaw, let it absorb through your gums. She might not have been used to it. Probably used her finger to keep it in place.
Es lo del tabaco, ¿no? Que tenía.
How could Paz... We were gonna start a band together.
She was posing as a KGB agent, too.
She must have put on the act to get close to Galvez. Wonder how much Coleman knew. But the whole time she was working for some organization called Cypher.
Huh. Cypher. Ring any bells, Kaz?
Cipher. It means code, or zero in Arabic numerals.
Zero.
Does that mean something to you?
Not sure.
The Mayor Zero.
You know, cipher and zero were basically the same word. It's a linguistic redundancy. The word stems from the Sanskrit shunya. It corresponds to the Buddhist concept of emptiness. In Buddhism, shunya means hollow. It supposedly refers to something that's swollen and empty on the inside.
A big swollen emptiness. Just like outer space.
Ay, güey. Ok. De paz, pues no hubo nada nuevo, ¿va? Demanda, pues no hemos escuchado nada. Ok, empecemos con los archivos de demanda, ahora sí. Nicaragua, la historia de Nicaragua.
Since it was founded, my country has not once been able to choose its own path. First Spain, then America. Over 100 years of this.
I know.
In the 19th century, an American mercenary named William Walker seized power in Nicaragua.
I'd heard he exploited rivalries between the political parties.
Even after we expelled him, the Americans sent in their Marines under the pretext of quelling political unrest.
And the real reason?
To intimidate the government and thwart the construction of the Nicaragua Canal.
El canal de Nicaragua.
I thought the U.S. already has the rights to build a canal in Nicaragua.
They never intended to build a canal there. They'd already started digging in Panama. A canal in Nicaragua would break up the Panama Canal's monopoly. Reason enough for America to stick its nose into our affairs.
They snagged the rights so nobody else could build there.
It was General Sandino who finally stood up to los Yankees.
Órale. La rebelión de Sandino.
General Sandino waged a guerrilla war against the Marines, at last driving them out. He was a true hero, and to us Sandinistas, like a father. But when they pulled out, the Americans left us something to remember them by.
The National Guard.
Yes, La Guardia. In name, a peacekeeping force, but in reality, Commander Somoza's personal army, answering to no one else. Unable to stay silent, General Sandino went to protest and was assassinated by Somoza as he made his way home. It was then that Somoza and Los Sapos began to eat our country alive from the inside.
Ay, güey. Samosa.
It has been 40 years since the Somoza family became the rulers of Nicaragua. With La Guardia at their command, no one can challenge them.
You came here on the run from the National Guard, right?
See, they took everything. Our land, our homes, our jobs.
Now belong to Somoza.
See, the law too. He's even got the judges in his pocket. You defy him, you face death. Everyone bows and scrapes before La Guardia. Even then you might get a beating if they are in a bad mood.
And you're trying to change things.
That's not all. These Somozas have used their power to line their pockets. They confiscate people's land and hand it to members of the Somoza family. By now, close to half the farmland in Nicaragua is theirs. We were powerless until... You remember the earthquake 2 years ago?
Yeah, I heard the capital was hit pretty hard.
We lost Managua, our capital city. People sent aid from all around the world. Tears of sorrow turned to tears of joy. Yet almost all of it was embezzled by the Somozas.
No mames.
They sold out those who'd lost everything for money. They feasted on our country's suffering. Public resentment is at the boiling point. The Somozas' days are numbered. We will see to it.
El asesinato de Sandino.
The first Somoza was originally no more than the commander of La Guardia. Ordinarily, a man of his station could never hope to become president. But the president at the time had no power to back him. The only one with the strength to oppose him was General Sandino. No, better to say the general was the only one who dared oppose him. There was nothing special about him. Above all, it takes a strong will to see justice done. That is what he taught us.
It's also what motivated Somoza to have him killed.
Yes, the rest was easy. He got rid of the president, taking office in a sham election. And once he had the power, he never gave it up.
Talk about heavy-handed.
He had the Americans backing him, that's why. They didn't want to hand over power to a rebellious general.
Even so, it's hard to believe Washington would give its blessing to a guy like that.
The American president at the time put it this way. Somoza may be a son of a bitch, but he's our son of a bitch.
Oh,
In other words, better a dog or los sapos than an anti-US regime.
el terremoto de Managua.
The Managua earthquake struck 2 years ago, the day before Christmas Eve.
No manches.
Giant cracks opened up in the streets. Sleeping children were crushed in collapsing houses. No chance to escape. No visit from Santa Claus. Thanks to Somoza, the old houses could not even get rebuilt. It was a nightmare.
I heard the epicenter was right in the middle of the city.
Even today, it's too dangerous to build on top of the fault line. The city center is still in ruins.
And to make things worse, Somoza stole the recovery money.
We must not fail. We owe it to those who lost their lives. We will defeat Somoza.
Ay, no, no,
It
no,
has been-
no. El río San Juan.
The river that flows between Nicaragua and Costa Rica is el Río San Juan.
Ah,
It
ok.
connects Lago Cocibolca to el Mar Caribe. It is a gentle river, safe even for small boats. You have to watch out for the sharks, though.
Sharks?
Órale.
In a river?
El tiburón toro live in the river, but there's nothing to fear. San Juan will protect you always.
Wuhan?
¿Qué
The Río
Juan?
San Juan takes its name from San Juan, the man who baptized Jesus, the man you call John the Baptist in your country.
John, huh? I'll be careful anyway. I'd hate to drown. End up a John Doe.
¡Ja! Por cierto, Big Boss se llama John, por eso lo dice. La isla de Ometepe.
There is a volcanic island in Lago Cocibolca called Ometepe. It's formed from 2 connected volcanoes shaped like a porongo.
The one with smoke coming out of it.
That's the one. The smoking volcano is Concepcion. It erupts once in a while. The other one is Maderas. It's never erupted in recorded history. There's a lake in the caldera at the top.
A crater lake. Let's hope there's not another underground factory inside.
Don't say that. If Peace Walker's nukes detonated there, it would destabilize the magma underneath. It could cause the volcano to erupt again. If that happens, my country is doomed. Snake, you must stop Peace Walker.
Vale. El FSLN. ¿El qué? El Field System Fair.
We are Sandinistas, the heirs of General Sandino's will.
Sandino. The father of modern guerrilla warfare.
To you, maybe. To us, he's more like a real father.
That why you named yourselves after him?
Of course. La Frente Sandinista de Liberación Nacional. The Sandinista National Liberation Front is named in his honor. We share the general's goal, to take back our country's
Okay.
freedom. In his day, from America. In ours, from the despot Somoza.
Times have changed, but the song remains the same.
Patria libre o morir. That is our slogan. El Che used to say the same thing, you know.
Patria o muerte. The slogan of the Cuban Revolution. So, you're fighting for a socialist revolution too, then?
No, it's not about ideology. We only want to live normal lives. We are sick of living in a country where you can be beaten for walking down the street, where you never know if your neighbor is snitching on you. Our goal is to give back the country to its people.
Yeah. The Cuban Revolution started out like that too.
We are few in number, but we will win. Victoria o muerte. For a revolutionary, there is no other fate.
Ok. El general Sandino.
Augusto Cesar Sandino, general and hero of Nicaragua. 50 years ago, conflict broke out between the political parties of Nicaragua. The U.S. Marines intervened in the name of restoring order. The only one who refused to listen to their call for reconciliation was General Sandino.
Huh. One man against the Marines. That takes guts.
The general wasn't a professional soldier. Neither were his compadres. And they certainly could not match the Marines' equipment. But he used the land to his advantage, lurking in the fields and hills of Nicaragua, and using surprise attacks to harass the Marines.
I know. I've read plenty of textbooks on guerrilla warfare.
In the end, he drove them out. He was truly a role model for us.
Yeah, but that was the 30s. Didn't the Depression have something to do with it? It takes cash to wage war.
Perhaps. But there is no denying what the general accomplished. The people hailed him as the General de Hombres Libres, the General of Free Men. They loved him. And then he was assassinated by Anastasio Somoza Garcia, commander of La Guardia.
The father of the current Somoza.
Somoza had the Americans' backing. That is the way things were. The general may be dead, and the times may have changed, but his will lives on inside each of us. We are the sons and daughters of General Sandino.
Mira nomás. Los vendedores de sandías.
Hey, how's the watermelon business these days?
Not bad. I hear the compas back home are hanging in there too.
Good to hear.
You know our nickname. I'm impressed. No wonder they call you boss.
You used to hide your weapons in hollowed-out watermelons, smuggle them right past the National Guard. You even transported pineapple grenades that way. The name caught on among sympathizers in the region and...
What are you talking about?
Huh?
They call us watermelon sellers because the general's name sounds like the word for watermelon. Sandia.
Really?
Sí.
Damn it, Kaz.
En que Kazuhira nos dijo el dato ese de que por eso los llamaban los sandinistas. Porque cortaban armas de las sandías. Una revolución por la paz.
A revolution to bring peace to your country, huh? No matter how much we fight, peace never gets any closer, does it?
I do not like it, but it is the only way. If we do not fight back, they'll just keep exploiting us. You want proof? Look at our country's history. Revolution is a means and not an end. I know. When the revolution is victorious, I want my country to be at peace. But to bring peace, we have to first eliminate that traitorous scum.
It's an old saying. We make war that we may live in peace.
Who said it?
Aristotle.
You know your history.
I had a good teacher.
It has always been like this. People making the same mistakes over and over. And still, all we can do is fight.
I hear you. If you've got a goal, you've got to keep moving forward.
Quiero ver si salió otro. Ya que cagaron a Kaz. El Che.
I noticed you called Che Guevara El Che.
Not just us. Everyone in these parts does. Che was always his nickname. It does not feel right to call him by his last name. I was shocked the first time I saw you. You look so much like him.
I look like El Che, huh?
Sort of. Not in the face. It's more the way you carry yourself.
I guess Che's a hero to the Sandinistas, too.
Of course. The FSLN was formed in the spirit of the ideologies championed by El Che and Fidel.
Fidel Castro. So, you're trying to bring the Cuban Revolution to Nicaragua.
Well, we were. But Cuba isn't what it once was. Not since El Che left. El Che was a true revolutionary. He fought and died for the people. He worked harder than anybody, and he was a righteous man. Even as a minister of Cuba, he gave up his weekends to work on the farms and public works. As a volunteer, no less.
Yeah, I've heard the stories. But when you think about it, wasn't it that obsession that did him in?
How do you mean?
We can't all be supermen. He thought the ideals he applied in Cuba would work in Bolivia, but he failed to win converts and the support of the peasants, and it cost him his life.
Maybe you are right. But at least he did not steal from those peasants, no matter how hard things got.
Yeah, I can sympathize with that. There's plenty of guerrillas out there who'd rob their own people to feed their revolutions.
If we had a comandante like him, the Sandinistas would find the will to fight.
La fuerza del enemigo. El hombre nuevo.
You called that giant chopper an hombre nuevo.
See, it means new man.
Ah, la Chrysalis, ¿verdad?
Man.
There was nobody piloting that thing. It must be controlled by machine.
Yeah, it seems that way. No human being could pull off those crazy maneuvers.
But it's not crazy. It's smart. It sings, too.
When we first saw it, one of your men said, "Pilot must be an hombre nuevo."
Me? I do not like the name.
Why?
Hombre Nuevo was what El Che was striving to become. What all of us who joined the Sandinistas strive to become. That's why. An Hombre Nuevo is one who finds joy in virtue and voluntary labor. It makes me furious to see that name given to such a monster.
I'll bet.
Ok. El secuestro.
Chico called that helicopter El Colibri.
Our name for the hummingbird. You saw how that chopper moved, how it hovered in midair like a hummingbird?
Hell of a lot
okay.
bigger than a bird, though.
True, but better than Hombre Nuevo, don't you think? When you get kidnapped by El Colibri, it's all over. They take you to a prison camp and torture you until you snitch on your compas.
That's what took Chico.
They have no mercy. Once you talk, they toss you out like trash. I knew this, and still I could not save Chico. If he cannot be saved, I will do what must be done.
Don't write him off like that. Sometimes you have to survive, even if it means sacrificing your honor. I'll get him back. I promise.
Vale. La fuerza de la CIA.
Snake, I need your opinion. How strong are the enemy's mercenaries?
They're well trained. They've got more than enough men. Seasoned, too. A lot of them probably saw action in Vietnam. They're a tough bunch. And armed to the teeth. I don't think I've ever seen a mercenary force field that many tanks and attack choppers.
It shows how much cash they have to throw around. And connections. How did they get access to such weapons?
How do you think? They're backed by the one and only CIA.
And here we are. Half of us farmers, and the other half students. Children, even. And weapons. We're so short on guns, we have to steal them from the enemy. As much as I hate to say it, we're always going to be on the defensive.
I know.
And mi viejo. Without him,
Yeah, I know.
I don't know if we can win. Can we, Snake?
Stop feeling sorry for yourself.
But
Amanda,
what?
listen to me. Don't ever let your men hear you talk like that. You're their leader, and a leader has to stand tall, even when times get tough, when it feels like the fear and uncertainty could crush you. You're the one your comrades look to for reassurance. That's what a leader is. Don't forget it.
Snake.
If you're looking for comfort, go find a church. That's all I've got to say.
Ok, qué buen
You
consejo.
are right. I am sorry. I need to pull myself together.
You'll be fine. I know you have it in you.
Thank you, Snake.
Relaciones con Estados Unidos. Plantaciones.
The land in our country belongs to us, and yet it does not belong to us.
How so?
Along the coast, it is all banana groves, and in the mountains, it is coffee. I guess in that way, it is not so different from here.
Plantations.
Almost all the bananas and coffee are sold as exports. The landlords keep the money for themselves, leaving precious little to the farmers. Worse, the biggest landowners in the country are Somoza and his family.
But it does bring in foreign currency.
I doubt even that, at least for bananas. The plantations are owned by American corporations. The bananas are processed in factories on the plantations and exported to America from private ports. It's like having little American enclaves along the coast of Nicaragua.
But the farmers have no choice but to go work there.
Es ridículo. The people have to take their land back. It is one of the things we are fighting for.
Ok. Las drogas.
Tell me, when exactly did you realize your dad was working with the KGB?
About 6 months ago. Up until then, we only had beans to eat. And then suddenly we started to get eggs and flour. Our bullet shortage simply disappeared.
How'd he get the cocaine?
Ask the KGB. All we did here was process it. Coca plants grow here too. But to my knowledge, almost all of the stuff we used came from Colombia and Bolivia.
It's processed in a factory and then shipped to ports on the Caribbean Sea. Where does it go after that?
I never thought about it. I mean, I did not want to think about it.
The biggest cocaine consumer in the world is the United States. I'm guessing they smuggle it in on vessels disguised as fishing boats.
Wait. La CIA uses that route too. Are you telling me they're selling cocaine to their own country?
Looks that way.
Those bastards are turning their own children into junkies? Are they insane?
No, just afraid. Afraid of a communist Central America.
William Walker.
La CIA calls their new toy Peace Walker, eh?
Yeah. So,
It is an insult to us Nicos.
because of the guy you were talking about, Walker.
See, although it happened over 100 years ago. Back then, the political parties in Nicaragua were at each other's throats. The Nicaraguan Democratic Party hired an American mercenary to help counter their enemies, the Conservative Party.
And that was Walker.
After taking care of the conservatives, Walker decided to seize power in Nicaragua for himself, eventually making himself president.
The Democratic Party gave him an inch, and he took the whole country.
But it did not end there. Not only did he make English an official language, he tried to reintroduce slavery. Walker's goal was to build a Caribbean empire centered on the American South.
Caribbean Empire. Sounds kind of like what Coleman is trying to pull off.
The gringos are always like that. They invent some convenient excuse to trample all over foreign countries like they own the place. Peace Walker, ha!
What happened to Walker in the end?
A united Central American army led by Costa Rica kicked his ass and sent him running back to America.
Then why don't we do the same? I, for one, don't intend to let Coleman get his way.
Good idea. I'm glad we have you, boss.
Ok. La autobiografía de Amanda. Entrada en el FSLN.
Amanda, when did you join up with the Sandinistas?
About a year ago, when I went into the mountains with mi viejo and his group.
I thought your dad was with the FSLN from the start.
No, he fought alongside General Sandino, but after that, he retired for a while. He found a job, got a wife and a house, and raised us kids. Then one day, some Sandinista students came by.
And he felt the old fire in his belly.
Something like that. All he did was help them escape from La Guardia, though. But then La Guardia showed up. They broke into our house and began pushing him around, shouting questions.
I'm guessing he kept his mouth shut.
No matter how hard they hit him. Our house was trashed. After that, he was on their list. They harassed him day and night. It was only then that he gave himself over to the Sandinistas. He kept it hidden from us at first, so we would not get hurt.
He sounds like a good father.
He was. But my mother got fed up with it. She left us. I don't blame her.
Why didn't you go with her?
It was a hard decision for sure. But like my father, I could not let Somoza get away with his crimes. But most of all,
Chico.
he is too much like his papa. One way or the other, he was going to stay. And I could not leave him behind. Soon enough, La Guardia drove us out, and we found ourselves in the mountains. It just kind of happened.
Well, for an accidental revolutionary, you sure put up a hell of a fight.
The mountains make men into warriors. The training is harsh, but it brings us that much closer to being hombres nuevos.
Chico couldn't ask for a better sister. I can see why they picked you to be Comandante.
La malaria.
When I was little, I came down with malaria. Unlucky for me, it was the bad kind. I was in a daze the whole time. And at one point they said I was not going to make it.
Malarial encephalopathy. I hear it's pretty common in tropical malaria cases.
Even today, my memory sometimes gets a little fuzzy. Since then, I've had this fear of mosquitoes. When I hear them buzzing nearby, I get jumpy.
Ah, that explains the chain smoking.
See, I thought it might help keep the mosquitoes away, just a little. Maybe it is all in my head. You're the same way, right?
Oh, I will say this. I prefer a cigar over mosquitoes.
Me too.
I've got to hand it to you. Takes guts to conquer your fear like that and live a gorilla's life in the wild.
It is nothing. El Che did not let asthma stop him from leading the revolution. Compared to him, I am no hero.
Mi viejo.
I'm sorry to hear about your dad.
Thank you for saying that. Mi viejo was the leader of the Frente. He was the last of the generation that knew General Sandino. He saw the general's exploits firsthand as a boy. He would tell us stories about it all the time and about how the general was assassinated.
Did you know he was getting money from the KGB?
I had some idea, but I did not have the courage to confront him about it. I know it was a painful decision for him to make.
I can imagine.
Yes, my father was a good man. I loved him as a daughter, and his soldiers believed in him. Thanks to him, La Frente held together even in the worst of times. I don't know if I can ever fill his shoes.
Chico.
Chico's 12, right?
Right.
Isn't he a little short for his age?
Malnourishment. Food is hard to come by when you're running around in the jungle.
He's got quite an appetite.
I know. I didn't want him to come in the first place, but there was no one to take him in. I had no choice but to look after him.
Don't be so hard on yourself. Sometimes it's better for a kid to be with his family than far away in a safe place.
Thank you.
Promise me this, though. When your fight is over, make sure he gets a proper education. Give him a chance to be something other than a gorilla. It's not too late to teach him something other than fighting.
Okay, I promise. You know what book Chico really likes? The World Encyclopedia of Mysterious Creatures. The Loch Ness Monster, the Yeti.
UMAs. Yeah, I know.
He's still so much like a boy. I worry about him.
He'll be fine. I know plenty of grown men who still go crazy over UMAs.
Are you serious?
Papel en la Mother Base.
You have taken such good care of me since you saved me from El Colibri. I want to return the favor.
Just wait until you're healed up. Then we'll talk.
I appreciate that, but you need all the help you can get. It might take a while for me to heal completely, but I'll be fine once I'm on my feet. Put me in a combat unit. I'll pull my weight.
I wouldn't expect any less from a Sandinista Comandante.
Enough flattery. But seriously, it does not feel right for me to be sitting here while my compas are out risking their lives.
One thing's for sure. Having you out in the field would be a big boost to Sandinista morale.
Of course, our ultimate goal is still the overthrow of Somoza. But until we get
Creo
ourselves
que la
back
puse en
in
la,
order,
la
we
sección de
will follow
inteligencia,
your lead,
no la de combate.
wherever it takes us.
Glad to have you on board.
Ups. La hora decisiva.
Amanda, you getting used to Mother Base?
Yes, it is heaven compared to living in the mountains. We are no longer constantly on the run from La Guardia or mercenaries.
Some of the new guys we recruited used to be mercenaries.
We are getting along. It was difficult at first, but once you talk to them, you realize we've got plenty in common.
I see. Good to hear.
We may be enemies, but we are all still human beings. La CIA's soldiers, La Guardia. The same goes for the people of America.
What's gotten into you?
Mi viejo got involved with drugs in order to scrape together money for La Revolucion. He did whatever the KGB said, all for Nicaragua, or so he told himself. But I realize now, in the end, all he did was help poison young people of America.
Yeah.
I have made up my mind. Even when I leave Mother Base and return to La Revolucion, I will never turn to drugs, nor will I look to the KGB for help. If we topple Somoza using the KGB and drug money, we will lose the people's hearts.
So, you're choosing a different path from your father.
I still respect him, but I will not do things the way he did.
Bien por
Well,
ti.
I'm sure Chico will be glad to hear that.
Chico is a grown soldier now. I could not face him otherwise.
Well said, Amanda. Those are the words of a true Comandante.
Stop. I was inspired by the greatest comandante I have ever known. Boss.
Ah,
Ya, pues que es un cuarto. Chico. Información geográfica. Escala de los suministros.
The supply staging point is at the eastern foot of Irasu. There's a rail terminal there. They'll probably transfer the nuke from the train onto a truck.
gotcha. I'll have to catch them while they're moving the cargo.
But you might run into El Basilisco. Keep your eyes peeled, Snake.
An 80-foot-tall walking behemoth. The CIA's new weapon?
Could be. Too bad it's not actually a dinosaur. I think they're testing it up at the base on top of the mountain.
I met a guy in Russia who described it as a metal gear linking infantry and artillery.
Metal Gear.
I've got a bad feeling about this. Like maybe it's connected to everything that's happening here somehow.
The nukes? You don't think...
What else could it be? If it is up there, I'll just have to improvise. Either way, I won't know until I get there.
Watch your back, Snake.
Valle del Río.
There's a river in the mountains north of the village. You'll see a water pipe running across that's got a walkway you can use as a bridge. I guess they built it to carry water from the hydroelectric plant. To get there, though, you gotta get past the barricade north of the precinct.
Got it.
El Basilisco supposedly lives in the gorge up there, so be careful you don't get distracted and fall in the river.
The Basilisco.
Not the big monster I saw. I mean, the real Basilisco.
A real one. The legendary king of snakes.
More like a lizard, I guess. It walks on top of the river.
A lizard that walks on water.
Man, you should see it. It's not that big, though. Only about 1 vara long.
Pretty good size for a lizard.
Yeah, but not nearly as big as a dinosaur.
Él es el Metal Gear. Ey. El auténtico Basilisco.
So there's a real Basilisco that lives in the river?
I'm only saying I heard stories from people who said they saw it. But I know lots of places to find it in Nicaragua. Do you want to go have a look?
I don't have time for sightseeing.
You don't like lizards?
It's not that. I just think snakes taste better.
Who said anything about taste?
How about you? You like them?
Not that way. They do look kind of like dinosaurs, though. You don't think that's cool?
They're both reptiles, yeah. But there's a big difference size-wise.
I'll
Se
bet
supone que
there are
escuchando
still
todas
big ones around
los
somewhere.
diarios de
They
Chico
say
desbloqueamos
mammals
las misiones de
multiplied
Monster
and ate up
Hunter.
their eggs. But they can't all be gone. They've gotta exist somewhere out there.
Dinosaur eggs, huh?
And animals are always evolving, right? Maybe they evolved so much they don't even look like dinosaurs anymore.
Then you can't really call them dinosaurs, can you?
I guess not. Yeah, you're right. Dinosaurs have got to be big.
La zona del cráter.
Irasu has more than one crater because he's erupted so many times. I heard most of them filled up with rainwater and became lakes.
Calderas, huh?
Calderas. Yeah, something like that. Hey, I got an idea. When you get to the lake, can you keep an eye out for weird animals for me? People all over the world tell stories about giant monsters living in lakes. Nessie in Loch Ness, Nahuelito in Argentina, Ogopogo in
El
Canada.
Nahuelito es
I can hardly keep track
igualito
of
al
them.
monstruo del lago Ness.
They
Parece un
say
plesiosaurio.
that all these sightings
O bueno,
prove
se
dinosaurs
supone
do
que así
still
es.
exist.
But crater lakes are isolated. They're not connected to rivers.
Yeah, but you know Mokele Mumbembe in the Congo River? He can walk on land. So maybe they moved there from some other lake.
Huh. You sure know a lot about UMAs.
There used to be a guy in El Frente who was a hunter. He taught me lots of things. He even said he once went to a place called Isla del Monstruo.
A hunter on Isla del Monstruo.
Someday, I'm gonna be a hunter and catch some rare animals. Right after we restore peace to our land, of course.
Es la del monstruo. El monstruo del lago Ness.
Did you ever hear of the Loch Ness Monster?
Now that one I know. Pretty much everyone's heard of old Nessie.
Great, so I don't have to explain. I think she's a long-lost dinosaur. Don't you?
Sure. Why not?
One of the compas gave me a book about it, with photos. It looks exactly like the plesiosaur.
Then why does it only live in Loch Ness?
Well, it probably got cut off from the ocean. Back when Loch Ness was part of the ocean, some plesiosaurs became trapped there when the climate changed. There weren't any mammals there, so no natural predators. Today's Nessie is descended from those plesiosaurs.
Then wouldn't it make sense for there to be monsters in other lakes with similar climates?
Exactly. That's why there's been giant monster sightings in a bunch of other places. Like Nahuelito and
El abuelito, lo que digo es
I
igual.
don't know if there's one in Irasu too, but I know there's definitely something living in Lago Cosipolca.
Ahora vas a jugar Monster Hunter, el World, antes de que salga el 2. ¿Va a salir Monster Hunter World 2? What? Y es que hay muchas cosas que quiero jugar. El problema es que no tengo tiempo. Ya ves ahorita cuánto tiempo no le he metido al Metal Gear. Eso porque estuve de vacaciones, pero pues ya regreso el lunes a trabajar. Entonces... Entonces no va a tener tampoco tanto tiempo. Ahora. El Nahuelito.
You mentioned the Nahuelito. What is it?
It's a plesiosaur that lives in Lago Nahuel Huapi in Argentina. It's described a little differently, but I'm sure it's basically the same creature as Nessie.
¿Te parece?
Except for one thing.
What?
Well, according to one theory, it's the result of a nuclear test back in the 50s.
What? There's no record of a nuclear test in Argentina in the 50s.
At the time, the president, General Juan Perón, was pushing hard to industrialize the country. I wouldn't be surprised if he conducted a top-secret nuclear test before he was overthrown in a coup.
Sounds a little far-fetched to me.
You think? Then maybe Nahuelito really is a dinosaur.
No, I didn't say that.
I mean, it's really pretty obvious.
Wait a minute.
Thanks
Chale.
for clearing that up, boss.
Dinosaur.
Se la aplicaron, vos, se la aplicaron. Dice, no, yo creo que es un dinosaurio, excepto porque las pruebas nucleares que hicieron ahí en Argentina. Dice Big Boss, no, pero es que no hicieron pruebas en Argentina. Ah, resuelto, entonces no es un monstruo atómico, es un dinosaurio. Gracias. Chale, se la aplicaron y chido. Ogopogo.
What about the Ogopogo?
Ogopogo.
What kind of name is that anyway?
Ogopogo's a monster that lives in Okanagan Lake in Canada. I guess it's an Indian name because it's a legend passed down by the Indians.
A legend, huh? Well, then it's probably not.
There's written records of it too. The first one was in 1872, and there's been more sightings since the start of the 20th century. You starting to get into UMAs too, Snake?
Yeah, maybe.
UMA hunting. Now that's a
Monster
real mad
Hunter.
adventure. What do you say, Snake? After Nicaragua's at peace again? You want to go exploring together?
Well, we'll
Hunting
see.
of Monsters.
Might not be such
Monster
a bad
Hunter.
life.
Mokele Mbembe. ¿Cómo se pronuncia esto, chico?
Mokele Mumbembe lives in the Congo
Mumbembe.
River. There's nothing mysterious about it, though. It's already been confirmed as a real living dinosaur.
¿Cómo?
The local people know all about it, and when they were shown a drawing of a brontosaurus, every one of them said it was Mokele Mumbembe. When peace returns to Nicaragua, I want to go to the Congo myself.
Oh, the revolutionary movement in the Congo ended in failure, you know.
Yeah, I know. I wish we could do something to help, but Africa's awfully far away.
Africa.
Wonder if
Ah,
Big
se
J
supone
ever
que
saw
Chico iba a
Mokele
aparecer en
Mumbembe.
The Phantom Pain en la
Wonder
región
if
de
I
África,
will.
¿verdad? Ha crecido.
Best to take care of business here before daydreaming about Africa.
Yeah. I guess you're right.
Referencias. Bosque nuboso tropical.
Chico, you know much about cloud forests?
Not that much. All I know is there's a world of difference between a rainy rainforest and a foggy cloud forest. But they have some things in common. But like, for instance, you gotta watch out for poison dart frogs. Both rain and cloud forests have high humidity, so they're perfect environments for frogs and other amphibians. I mean, it's not like just touching a strawberry poison dart frog or a dying dart frog is going to kill you. But don't eat them, no matter how hungry you get.
I can get all the rations I need from Mother Base. No jungle food for me this time.
Seriously? You're not disappointed you don't get to eat wild animals?
A little bit.
What do you think I am?
Just kidding. In Colombia, though, there's a frog, the golden dart frog, that's lethal to the touch.
How do you know all this?
Come on. Don't you think poisonous animals are cool?
Not if you get poisoned by one.
Well, obviously. One more thing. When you get to the forest, be on the lookout for Bigfoot.
Hubiera estado bien que hubieran metido un easter egg del Bigfoot. No sé. Pero sí hubiera estado bien Bueno, ya tiene demasiado contenido Peace Walker para hacer un juego de PSP. Pero pues hubiera estado más cabrón todavía con animales como como en Peace Walker. Como en Metal Gear 3, ¿no? O sea, es como que va a la verga. Aparte de todo lo que meten el animario. Bueno, una vasta cantidad de animales. Hubiera estado muy loco. Me dice uno de los chicos de la comunidad del Power de Frank Delta. Dice, si Peace Walker era tan bueno, ¿por qué no hay un Peace Walker 2?
Bigfoot is an ape man that lives in the Rocky Mountains. In the local Indian language, he's known as Sasquatch.
El Sasquatch.
And get this, he's over 3 vara. Can you believe that?
So he's kind of like a gorilla?
Completely different. Even the biggest gorillas only get to about 2 vara, and they walk on their
Ah,
knuckles.
soy más grande que un gorila.
Bigfoot's big, and he walks on 2 feet, like people.
So he's more man than ape.
Probably. His ancestors must have split off from humans at some point. Like before they started using tools and stuff.
Yeah, but aren't the Rockies kind of far away from here?
Not that far. According to Darwin, humans came all the way over here from Africa. Plus, there have been sightings in Venezuela of an ape man called Mono Grande. Costa Rica has tons of plant and animal species. So I'd expect there to be at least one kind of ape man.
At least.
At least. Hello, Arte, ¿cómo está mi querida moderadora? La señorita del látigo. ¿Qué hay? ¿Cómo estás? Estirando esos cachetes del Pikachu. Del Chicapú. Hay una imagen que me gusta mucho del Pikachu. Dice, el orden de los factores no altera el producto. Entonces, donde van los ojos, bueno, sus ojos son rojos, le ponen todos los ojos rojos. Y sus chapitas se las ponen negras con los destellos blancos. O sea, le cambian las chapas por los ojos. Dice, el orden de los factores no altera el producto. Y abajo, el Chicapú. O sea, bien pinche tétrico, el Chicapú, el Pikachu así. Sí lo hay, se supone que es el Phantom Pain. Lo mismo que yo contesté, estamos conectados, perro. Una continuación jugable de Peace Walker, incluso internamente en el desarrollo la llamaban Peace Walker 2. Sí. De hecho, pues viene siendo la parte que sigue de Peace Walker. Entonces, sí, y tiene mucho... Se parece en muchas cosas, ¿no? Sí le falta. Ya sabemos todos por qué, pero sí le faltó bastante. Pero tiene muchos conceptos iguales, los de las cintas, o en este caso las conversaciones. Y así. El mono grande.
Gotta admit, I've never heard of Mono Grande.
Yeah, he's
Mono
not as
Grande.
famous as Bigfoot. He's similar, but he lives in Venezuela. He's not that big, less than 2 vara, but he's way more ferocious than Bigfoot. Huh. I wonder just how mean he is. Like when he catches his prey, does he punch it to death?
That's the law of the wild. You catch your prey, you kill it, and you eat it.
Yeah. but punching is way more ferocious than biting.
Well, maybe it seems that way because that's what humans do. You really love UMAs, don't you, Chico?
Do you know what I think? I think UMAs should be dangerous. Otherwise, where's the fun in hunting them?
Ok. Las ruinas.
Did you see a Quetzal snake?
Yep.
Está
What do you
chiquito.
think? Did it
Es
look
de
like
un
a
metro
snake?
60.
Huh? No, it didn't look like a snake.
Oh, really? Must be different from the Quetzalcoatl then.
Quetzalcoatl.
A winged snake from the Mayan and Aztec legend.
A winged snake.
Weird,
Winged
right?
snake.
I bet it's UMA. Amanda and everybody says Quetzalcoatl is a Quetzal in the form of a god. But there's no way anybody mistake a snake for a bird. I think the legend of Quetzalcoatl came first. Somebody saw it and adopted it as their god before they saw the Quetzal. After that, somebody saw a bird that looked like the image of the god, and so they named it Quetzal.
You mean it happened the other way around?
Well, if you ask me, the Quetzalcoatl was probably a pterosaur that survived. I mean, it's got wings and it's a reptile, so it probably looks kind of like a snake, right? Pterosaurs live on in Africa even today. They're called the Congamato and the Elitziao. So it makes sense that there'd be pterosaurs on the American continent too, and that they survived until the Mayan and Aztec eras.
Well, lucky for us, they're not still around today.
Who says they aren't? The dinosaurs supposedly died out 65 million years ago, and the Aztec civilization only rose about 600 years ago. If they managed to survive 65 million years, surely they couldn't be wiped out in 600.
Chico tiene una respuesta para todo que puedo. Pongamato.
Pterosaurs survive today in the African countries of Cameroon and Congo. Each tribe calls them by a different name, like Congamato or Litziao.
Pongamato.
There sure are a lot of dinosaurs running around the Congo.
Well, a lot of the land hasn't been settled by humans yet. They've survived all this time, just undiscovered by man. But they're finding fossils in America too. This one they found 3 years ago in Texas had a wingspan of more than 12 meters. If I saw a gigantic pterosaur like that, I'd probably call it a god too. Yup, I'm sure that's what the Quetzalcoatl really is.
Órale. La base de la mina.
A base disguised as a mine? We never made it that far. I don't know what kind of place it is, but you'd better be careful, just in case.
I plan to.
I've heard that the American Army keeps dead alien bodies and UFOs in secret bases.
Aliens.
There are billions of stars in space. You've got to think that at least a few have civilizations more advanced than ours. I'll bet they visit Earth in UFOs. In 1947, the Army actually announced that they had caught a flying disc-shaped object near Roswell, New Mexico. Maybe you don't know about it, but those Army guys, they all know.
Oh, you don't say.
Anyway, there's no telling what kind of mystery weapons they might have stashed up there. Watch your back.
OVNIs.
Apparently, UFOs are connected to cattle mutilations.
Cattle mutations.
No, not mutations, mutilations.
Ah,
It's a word I've
también leí
never heard.
mutaciones.
People have been reporting their livestock dying in mysterious ways near the same places where UFOs have been sighted. They say the bodies are drained of blood and the eyeballs and sexual organs are gouged out.
Wow, when
De
you
hecho, hay
leave a corpse cut
una
open in a
teoría,
field
bueno, una
somewhere, the ground
leyenda.
soaks
No sé
up
cómo se puede
blood.
decir, porque pues son
but
mitos, ¿no?
supposedly these cows
Pero
were
que el
cut up by
chupacabras
any
es como
man-made
que
means.
algo que soltaron
Maybe
aliens.
maggots got to 'em.
In some cases, they detected radiation.
Radiation.
Como
Even
llamar
in
a
our own
una
time,
teoría
we
de
had
un
goats
mito.
that died in strange ways. Some said they saw a monster. A lizard on 2 legs covered in spines from its head all the way down his back.
A lo mejor es
I
eso, ¿no?
wonder if that's what the aliens look like. Or if it was some pet they brought with them.
Either way, doesn't sound like a very advanced civilization to me.
Well,
Pues
if
sí,
you
que
see
el
one,
chupacabras es
tell
como
it
que
I
una
said
mascota
hi.
de los aliens que
Sure.
soltaron.
If it speaks human.
Abducciones.
UFOs kidnap people too. You know, alien abductions. You've heard of the Heel abduction, right? That couple back in the 60s? So when I first saw the Colibri, I thought it was a UFO.
The Fulton recovery.
UFO.
I know those guys are working with the aliens, even if they wouldn't let me see them.
Well, you better not get caught again, or they'll be experimenting on you.
I'd take that over torture. What do you think they look like? Completely bald, maybe, with gray skin and big black eyes? Or maybe
No, me
they're
dan miedo
full
así.
baratah and wear skirts?
I kind of doubt it. I'll give you one thing, though. I've never seen anything move like that. Maybe the CIA really did make contact.
You see? It's true!
Pinche Snake, pinche Big Boss, cómo le da pie a su imaginación a este güey. Es lo que me gusta un chingo, que el Big Boss tiene mucho carisma, tiene mucho sentido del humor. Cosa que se ve reflejada en The Phantom Pain. Ya sabemos por qué no tiene esa misma carisma, no tiene ese mismo sentido del humor. Pero Big Boss es muy, muy carismático, la verdad. El Bucky es un tipo todo mamado que
You wanna know something?
pelea con su papá.
I once met an alien cat.
An
Okay.
alien cat?
Yep, it was dark out, so I couldn't see too well. But it was a cat with a huge long tail. Its eyes shined in the dark, too.
Most cats' eyes do.
At first, I thought it was a regular cat. But then, it started talking to me.
What?
Inside my head.
Inside your head.
He said his name was Altargoso El Baki Muñudar.
What?
He'd come to Earth from the Andromeda Galaxy to check out Earth's nuclear weapons.
The Andromeda Galaxy. Mankind's barely made it to the moon. We couldn't possibly launch nukes that far.
El Baki said he was watching over us to make sure we don't destroy ourselves with nukes until the day we humans are ready to join the Space Federation.
It's a shame. This is supposed to be the era of détente. And still we've got people pulling stunts like bringing nukes into peaceful countries. If something ever went wrong and set off a chain reaction of retaliation.
I know. This planet could destroy itself at any time.
De hecho, dicen que así va a ser el fin del mundo, ¿no? Por una guerra nuclear atómica. Una guerra atómica, guerra nuclear. Foto del ovni.
Snake, is it true you took a picture of El Colibri?
Yep. Got it right here.
Whoa! It's like an actual UFO!
Ah, que la quiere
I knew
vender,
it.
pinche chico,
Los
¿eh?
Yankees are working with the aliens.
I know it kind of looks that way, but
Hey, Snake, can you make me a copy of that?
I don't see why not. What for?
People pay good money for this stuff. We can use it to raise money for MSF.
Sure, kid. You go out and get us a good price for it.
You don't believe me, do you? I'll get the money. You'll see.
La leyenda de la isla del monstruo. La isla del monstruo.
Snake, legend has it. A place called Isla del Monstruo is near Costa
Del
Rica.
monstruo.
Isla del Monstruo.
Del
It was
monstruo.
discovered in the 18th century by Caribbean pirates sailing over to the Pacific. And the island in Treasure Island is based on one near Costa Rica, too.
Treasure Island. I remember reading that.
You've read it, too? Ah, that makes things easier. In Nicaragua, we too have a story about a group of pirates that encountered a flying monster out at sea. Some even say they landed on this monster island, though we still don't know exactly where it is. That's the reason I've always wanted to come to Costa Rica.
Ha! I see.
Ooh, I heard another story about a talking cat that lives somewhere in Costa Rica. They say it'll take you to this place.
Interesting stuff.
Wanna know more about the island?
Maybe later.
El gato que habla, ese
If
güey me
I'm
tiene que
headed
llevar a la
that
isla
way, You can
entonces.
fill me in.
Okay, just let me know.
Ya tengo que encontrar un gato que me lleve a la isla del monstruo. Autobiografía de chico. Amanda.
Amanda's so bossy. It's always follow me or stay here. The other day she told me, chew your gallo pinto before you swallow. Can you believe it?
Knowing your sister? Yeah, I can.
Okay.
The enemy could strike at any time. I can't sit around taking my sweet time eating. I'm a Sandinista. Just like the others. I don't need some woman telling me what to do.
Some woman.
Machista.
She's your sister, and she's doing the best she can to fill your father's shoes.
I know, but lately she hasn't been doing so good. I should be strong for her.
Now you're talking.
Ese es mi primer niño soldado. Padre.
Sorry to hear about your dad.
Don't be. He is a guerrilla warrior. We pledge our lives to our country and its people. I'm ready to die
A
too if I have
guerrilla.
You sure?
Siendo
You
honesto,
better
todo este tiempo
believe it.
pensé que sea a
Like my
gorila.
viejo used to say, patria o
Pache
muerte.
o muerte.
Che said it first.
My dad used to tell us all kinds of stories. About General Sandino and his fight against La Guardia. About my mom before she left us.
You didn't want to go with her.
It's not like that. La Revolucion comes first, that's all.
You must wish you could see her, though.
I don't know. But I know I'll see her again when this is all over. Somehow, I just know it. When I do, me and my mom and papa are all going to live together again. At least that's what I thought. Now,
Lo siento, chico.
Hang in there, Chico. Your sister needs you.
okay.
Las citas del Che. Imagino
Have
que
you
las
ever
frases.
heard, shoot, coward. You're only
Disparad
going to kill a man.
cobardes. Ah, sí.
Che's last words. He'd been captured in Bolivia and said it to the soldiers just as they were about to execute him.
El Che. He was something, wasn't he? Coming up with a line like that knowing he was about to die.
After the Cuban Revolution, Che gave up his position in the new government to aid in revolutions in other countries. He knew he could die at any time, and he was ready for it.
Me? I couldn't even take a little torture.
But you've been reborn as an hombre nuevo. Right, Chico?
Right.
Compas del frente.
Don't you ever get lonely, living away from your mom?
Not really. My compas are my family now. A lot of them are from the same village as me.
So you had plenty of people to take care of you.
Take care of me. I'm a warrior, like any other Sandinista. We look out for each other. That is how it works.
Sorry. Guess I misspoke.
Now we're scattered because of that colibri. Wonder where everybody went. Hey, Snake. If you see any Frente prisoners, please, you gotta get them out, okay?
Guard.
Those guys are solid, every one. You could use them in MSF.
Papel en la Mother Base.
Hey, Snake. Are there any jobs for me here at Mother Base? I can do anything.
You don't have to work, you know.
Don't treat me like a kid. I'm a man now.
Okay, then. What are you good at?
Let me think. Everything. Put me on any team. I can pull my own weight.
Well, you are young. You'll probably be a fast learner. I'll think of something.
Anything you need, boss. You'll see. I can fight as good as anybody.
Me agradas, chico, me agradas. El amor. El primer amor.
Hey, what's with all this sighing? You're not your usual self.
Oh, Snake.
Something on your mind?
Huh? No, not really. I guess. Hey, Snake. Girls are funny, you know? You can never
Chicos,
tell
son
what they're thinking.
graciosas.
They're always doing their own thing. Maybe they really are different from us men.
Whoa, what's this about now? Chico, do you have a
like
crush on
us.
somebody?
No, it's not that. I just...
What? Go ahead, you can talk to me.
Whenever I talk to Paz, my heart starts pounding and everything I say comes out wrong.
Paz. I guess she is pretty close to your age.
That ever happened to you, Snake?
Well, sure. Happens to everybody.
Well, how do I talk to her?
That is a tough one. Why don't you try, talking to her like you talk to everybody
Soy yo
else?
hablando con mi
No, it
futuro
doesn't
hijo.
work. I freeze up every time I'm around her. Our eyes meet and my face starts burning for some reason.
It's like living on the battlefield. You just have to get used to it. You're nervous at first, but the more you're out there, the more natural it feels. Get your courage up and go talk to her more often.
Oh, okay. Man, girls are more full of mysteries than UMAs.
Oh, you got that right.
La verdadera personalidad de Paz.
Chico, I heard you saw Paz trying to sabotage Zeke before she activated.
I should have stopped her. If only I hadn't run away. I could have captured her before she got inside. If I'd done that, she'd still be here.
She was carrying a gun. Probably trained to use it too. Don't blame yourself. You couldn't have stopped her anyway. You were unarmed.
Could have at least talked to her. If I'd promised not to tell anyone, Paz wouldn't have gone and done what she did. It's just I was so shocked. I panicked. Ran away.
Chico, when you saw Paz, she was trying to sabotage it, right?
Huh? Well,
Tú lo
yeah.
And right
salvaste,
after
chico.
that, she took control of it, tried to make me surrender. Something doesn't add up. Why would she sabotage Zeke when she was about to use it against me?
What?
Her actions were inconsistent. Even for a spy. If she wanted to destroy Zeke, she could have done it and run away. But if her goal was to steal Zeke, she'd have no motive to sabotage it.
I don't know.
Maybe your seeing her caused her to change her plan. I don't get it.
Ok, esto es todo lo de Chico. Técnicamente, podríamos activar la misión que nos lleva a la isla de los monstruos, a las misiones del Monster Hunter. Pero, no sé cómo se hace. Dijo que estaba en lo de la playa, ¿no? Tenemos que buscar un gatito que habla. Huey, me caes mal, perro, desgraciado. La Guerra Fría y la carrera armamentística nuclear. El proyecto Manhattan.
Doc, I'm starting to sense your feelings about nukes are a little different from your colleagues.
How do you mean?
Your little chat with Coldman back there.
I told you my father worked on the Manhattan Project, right? You're familiar with it?
Lo peor es que le ponen la voz, tiene la voz de Otacón,
It
me
was
cae
the
bien.
project that kicked off the nuclear age.
That's right. Some of the finest minds of the 20th century, including multiple Nobel Prize winners, worked on it. They spent over $2 billion, and that's in 1940s money.
$2 billion.
Culminated in the successful nuclear test at Alamogordo on July 16th, 1945.
And the first use in combat a few weeks later. Doc,
I can't walk.
what?
My spine isn't shaped like everybody else's. I can't move my lower body, so I've never taken a single step, not since I was born.
What's that got to do with your dad being in the Manhattan Project?
As a result of his research, my father was exposed to high doses of radiation. It can't be a coincidence that my chromosomes are messed up. That's why I didn't want for these nukes to be another sword of Damocles. I wanted to give them a real purpose, to be a deterrent against war.
Doc,
And Coldman, we have to stop him, whatever it takes.
Ok. Hiroshima y Nagasaki.
August
Godzilla.
6th, 1945, Hiroshima. August 9, Nagasaki.
the atom bomb attacks on Japan.
My father was married to his work. I don't have a single memory of going places or doing stuff with him on weekends. But even as a kid, I knew on some level that it was for his family. I respected him. My mother used to tell me all the time, "Your father is a brilliant scientist. He saved countless American boys from death. You should be proud of him."
Yeah. You could say the war ended because of those bombs.
When I was in the 5th grade, a Japanese student transferred to our class. She showed me photos of Hiroshima after the bomb. I couldn't believe my eyes. A city of over 350,000 people reduced to a scorch mark on the ground by a single atomic bomb. Houses blown off their foundations, burned to ashes.
No,
The
no,
only
o sea,
things left
hace que
standing were
se
the
hace un
skeletons
cabrón.
of steel-framed buildings. And it wasn't just the buildings. Blackened corpses on the side of the road. Survivors covered head to toe in severe burns. Within a few months, over 70,000 had died in Nagasaki, twice that in Hiroshima. For years after that, I couldn't talk to my father. Couldn't even stand to look at his face.
I know how you feel, Doc. But your father's your father.
If he hadn't worked on that project, my body wouldn't be like this. I could be researching something else. I could have lived a normal life.
La crisis de los misiles en Cuba.
It wasn't so long ago the world stood on the brink of nuclear war.
Just over on the other side of the Caribbean.
I was 17 at the time. I'd skipped a few grades and was a sophomore at MIT. I remember feeling kind of apathetic about the news that came in every day. It seemed clear to me that as long as they had a grasp of the concept of nuclear deterrence, there was nothing to fear.
Either that, or they were fanning that fear on purpose.
As a way to secure a bigger defense budget? Huh, I can see that. But if that was their plan, it kind of backfired.
Because it ushered in the era of détente between East and West.
Coldman's really gonna do it this time. Once the nuclear genie is out of the bottle, the yoke of deterrence is going to be meaningless. People will die. Cities will burn. We have to stop him now before it's too late to turn back.
Ok. La carrera espacial y la carrera armamentística de la Guerra Fría.
So you've been doing nuclear research your whole life?
No, not really. At first, I wanted to be an aerospace engineer. For me, the Sputnik launch was a good shock, not a bad one. I thought the age when science was used for war was over, and that a glorious age of space exploration was dawning. The year I skipped ahead and got into MIT, Gagarin went into orbit, which made me more excited than ever. Of course, even back then, I knew the space race was just another facet of the Cold War.
Moscow had a leg up on us, and we were desperate to catch up.
I know. But for me, it was a happy time. I joined NASA, got to do the kind of research I loved. Our nation's prestige hinged on our work. They gave us whatever resources we asked for. I knew you could turn a rocket into an ICBM by fitting it with a nuclear warhead, but that didn't bother me so much. It didn't last long, though. The space and nuclear arms races took up enormous sums of money. America beat Russia to the moon, but that's where it ended.
Then came détente.
Exactly.
Don't.
NASA's budget was slashed as a result. My father being a nuclear expert and all, they put me to work on a more obvious deterrent. Missiles. At NASA, I'd been researching a locomotion system for lunar exploration. Tires aren't suited to driving around on the moon, you know. And that's how I caught Coldman's eye.
La Guerra Fría y la Paz.
But you know, there's something I've never been able to figure out. Is the Cold War really a war, or is it really peace?
Doc, what do you...
People called it a Cold War, but I disagreed. Sure, nuclear stockpiles are increasing, threats are multiplying. The US and the Soviet Union have enough power to destroy the human race 100 times over. But nobody's actually being killed. Small-scale conflicts and proxy wars, maybe, but nuclear deterrence has averted another world war. The world's far more peaceful today than it was before, and the breakthroughs we've made in space exploration thanks to Cold War competition? Fantastic, don't you think?
No. We didn't need to rush into space like that. Going into space may have been mankind's dream, but good people were sacrificed in the scramble.
Maybe so. NASA's definitely got some skeletons in its closet.
Same goes for the nuclear arms race. Atomic testing has killed civilians and exposed thousands to radiation.
Believe me, I know. And now, this. What peace was I trying to protect anyway? The more I think about it, the less I understand.
Ok. La disuasión nuclear. La teoría de la disuasión nuclear.
Let's speak in hypotheticals for a minute. Say you wanted to make a clone of yourself.
A clone?
Ok.
Paramedic had the same idea. It's science fiction.
I'm just hypothesizing here. Okay, not a clone then. You have any kids?
Nope.
Wife?
I've never been
Nope.
tied down.
Okay then. So, we're still talking hypotheticals. Say you had a son who'd inherited your genes. Someone with the same combat abilities as you. Would you challenge him to a fight?
Not to sound cocky, but I wouldn't want to do that. No telling who'd survive.
I'll bet. You picked up on the Pupa 5000's combat patterns in seconds.
Only with your advice, Doc.
Well, if anybody could learn to do it just by listening, it'd be easy. But you're a born soldier.
Somos genoma.
You must have been born with genes geared for combat. Soldier
Somos genoma.
genes, if you will.
Genes geared for combat. I don't care how advanced their research is. You can't blame genes for everything.
Blame genes? You think it's funny?
What?
You think genes have nothing to do with this body I was born with?
I don't know.
Look, that fear of facing someone of equal ability in combat, imagine that on a strategic scale. That's the concept of nuclear deterrence. The idea is, when all sides are armed with the destructive power of nuclear weapons, they'll avoid nuclear war in order to prevent mutual annihilation.
Doesn't sound all
Okay.
that sophisticated to me.
Exactly. It's so simple in principle. But because it's so simple, whether or not it works properly depends on the people involved. In that sense, what we're looking at now is a malfunction in deterrence theory.
Coldman.
You got it. Please, Snake, don't let deterrence die.
Cómo lo manejan, ¿no? Ya te están metiendo la idea de los clones y de los genes. Metal Gear 1. Bueno, Metal Gear Solid 1. Esta pinche saga nomás. Esta pinche... Pues sí. Es tan amplia, tan entretenida. Nuclear terrorism.
Nuclear deterrence means preventing the use of nuclear weapons in conflicts between states. But what about other situations?
Like what?
Terrorism has been on the rise in recent years, from separatist movements to far-left extremists. What would happen if nuclear weapons fell into terrorists' hands? Without a state,
Metal Gear 1.
that is, without territory of their own, the chances of having nukes used against them are slim. They have no reason to fear a nuclear strike. Conversely, they have no reason to hesitate to use nukes against their adversaries.
You've got a point. All the ICBMs and strategic bombers in the world amount to nothing against a terrorist crew.
Right. Of course, this is all still hypothetical. Countries keep their nukes under tight watch. There's no immediate danger of terrorists getting their hands on them. But the day may come when the proposition of nuclear terrorism makes nuclear deterrence theory a dead letter.
Nuclear terrorism.
Interesting.
Interesting.
Los daños de un misil nuclear.
What are we gonna do, Snake? If Peace Walker attacks Mother Base...
Relax. We've got the entire MSF out to make sure that doesn't happen.
Yeah, but Peace Walker's missiles have 1 megaton warheads. The fireball alone would be a mile in diameter. Everything in the vicinity of Ground Zero will be vaporized by the heat rays. Then there's the blast, which travels at hundreds of miles per hour. And the fires, and the...
A huge dose of radiation from the initial nuclear reaction.
That too. There won't be a single survivor.
Yeah, I'm aware of that. Look, Doc, you made that thing. You know better than anybody what it's capable of. Right now, you've got to give me a rational, scientific estimate of the damage. If we're talking about a nuclear explosion, it's more than just MSF's problem.
You're right, Snake. Sorry about that. Like I was saying, Mother Base would be wiped out. Any ships in the area could be caught in the blast too. We'd need to send out a warning. The thing to worry about most is the fallout.
The dust of death.
If it goes off over water, the particles will be smaller than with an explosion over land, so the wind will scatter the fallout over a wider area. Clouds will form around the salt crystals in the seawater, causing contaminated rain to fall downwind.
Yeah, got a taste of that myself.
On Bikini Atoll? That's right. The 1954 Castle Bravo test created fallout 300 miles downwind. Poisoned a lot of local residents and ships, so I hear. The yield of Peace Walker's warheads isn't that big, but the amount of fallout will largely depend on weather conditions. It's impossible to make a quick and easy estimate.
If it gets into the trade winds, it could come straight to Costa Rica.
What was it Coldman was saying? About leaving people free to help out? He's out of his mind. What does he think's gonna happen? When they get hit by rain containing high concentrations of fallout, a lot of them will die from the external exposure alone. The rain will seep into the ground, contaminating the water supply and crops. When they ingest the stuff, the internal exposure starts. Strontium-90 and cesium-137 have half-lives of around 30 years. The effects stay with you your entire life. Leukemia, cataracts, dermatitis, cancer. And it affects reproduction, too.
I know.
Even today,
I
30
know.
years after World War II,
Pues aquí
thousands
ya
of
lo
people
sabe.
still suffer from
Big
exposure
Boss
to
no
the
puede tener
bomb.
hijos por la
We
radiación
can't
del
let
Metal
Coldman
Gear
create
3.
more of them just to prove his
Por la
point.
explosión de la cabeza
I know
nuclear
it
que lanzó
sounds
Volgin.
crazy,
Por la
but I
radiación
created
quedó
Peace
estéril.
Walker so that that kind of thing would never happen again.
Don't worry, Doc. We'll stop it. One way or another.
Igual The Boss se volvió estéril después. Metal Gear y las armas nucleares. ¿Cuánto queda?
I gotta say, I'm surprised you helped us arm Metal Gear with nukes.
What of it?
Don't get me wrong, I'm grateful and all, but you sure about this? They may be for MSF self-defense, but they're still nukes. It's essentially the same thing as Peace Walker, which you despised.
See, that's exactly it.
What is?
You don't hide your motives. You tell the truth. That's what makes you different from those CIA bastards. They lay on the charm, win you over. And then, when things get hairy, they turn their backs on you.
I'm just telling it like it is.
Which is why I get the feeling that you wouldn't be stupid enough to use them. Okay, I'll come out and say it. I trust you.
You give me too much credit.
You think so? Besides, there's more uses for bipedal locomotion technology than weapons. We make it small enough, and it could have applications in robotics and prosthetic limbs.
Sí, lo que.
Maybe one
Sí, lo
day
pensé
I'll
desde que lo
even be
vi.
able to walk.
Nice thought.
Se
I
puede hacer
wanna
prótesis
stand
como
on
las
my own
patitas del
feet,
Zeke.
be master of my own fate, and I'll use your strength to help me do it. If you don't mind, of course.
Nah, it's a fair enough deal.
Thanks. People can change, I know. But I trust you, Snake. I trust you to be the guy I know now.
The Peace Walker, a la verga. El proyecto Peace Walker.
The aim of the Peace Walker project is to achieve robust nuclear deterrence across Central America by deploying a new nuclear weapon system along the Caribbean coast. Peace Walker is also the name of the system itself.
A nuclear weapon named Peace. I can just see the look on Kaz's face. So why exactly does this new system need legs in the first place?
Because it's a walker, an unmanned weapon moving under its own power and capable of launching a deterrent strike from anywhere. That's the whole idea behind Peace Walker.
Una plataforma móvil de lanzamiento nuclear. Por cierto, ¿con qué energía se mueve el Peace Walker? ¿Con qué energía se mueve el Metal Gear? Ahora que lo pienso, creo que nunca he puesto atención a eso. ¿Qué combustible usan?
The reason Peace Walker is a mobile nuclear weapon system is to maximize its potential as a nuclear deterrent.
How so?
If need be, Peace Walker can stay constantly on the move so that the adversary can't pinpoint its position. That allows it to avoid preemptive enemy strikes.
So you're saying
okay.
it keeps the retaliation card in play.
Coldman likes to brag about it in this way.
Like a land-based version of an SSBN.
And there's another reason for them to be mobile. Peace Walker also has a self-destruct function.
¿Qué? ¿Cómo? La función de autodestrucción. What?
Why would Peace Walker need a self-destruct function?
You saw it, didn't you, Snake? That sphere on Peace Walker's head?
Yeah.
That's a hydrogen bomb.
What?
What?
You're telling me that thing's a thermonuclear device? Do they have any idea what kind of destruction that thing would cause?
I know, it's crazy. I mean, even overkill has its limits.
Órale, eso no lo sabía.
If it's strategic value they want, they could have gone with something smaller. It's like they want a weapon on par with Russia's Tsar Bomba.
This arms race is running way out of control.
It's an evolutionary dead end. A saber-toothed tiger. You can't load a warhead that big on a missile, of course. And no strategic bomber could carry it. That's where Peace Walker comes in.
So, it waltzes into enemy territory carrying a hydrogen bomb and blows itself up. Christ.
Órale. Es un caballo de Troya, ¿no? Tsar Bomba.
The biggest nuclear warhead ever actually detonated was the Soviet RDS-220, nicknamed Tsar Bomba. It had an estimated yield of 57 megatons, 10 times as much power as all the explosives used throughout World War II. The test took place on October 30, 1961, above Novaya Zemlya. The explosion is believed to have created a fireball over 2 miles in diameter. Can you believe that? Like a miniature sun. The explosion was seen as far off as Finland, 600 miles away. And some people even reported windows shattering. The shock wave traveled 3 times around the Earth.
3 times?
What?
Peace Walker is armed with a massive hydrogen bomb, even more destructive than Tsar Bomba. It can sneak into enemy territory, lie low, and in the event of an enemy nuclear strike, detonate itself in retaliation. And the
Órale.
locomotion system that lets it do that? My research. Snake, those legs were supposed to make my dream come true. Now they're about to jump the fence of nuclear deterrence. You have to stop them. I'll apply all my energy into developing weapons and equipment to help you do it.
Sounds like a deal.
Sounds like a deal. La inteligencia artificial de Peace Walker.
What made you put an AI into Peace Walker?
Well, for one thing, because it can't be manned. Peace Walker's designed to enter enemy territory and blow itself up, if necessary. You can't put a person inside a weapon that could blow at any time, can you? So we equipped it with an AI instead.
That's strangely humane of you.
And besides, Peace Walker was designed as a bipedal weapon system. You can't imagine how hard it shakes when it walks. It'd turn a man into mush. Plus, when launching a nuclear missile, it has to perform ballistic calculations in real time. See?
¿Y por qué Rex no
Because
tiene
it's
ese problema?
always moving.
Hold on. If that's all it does, then a high-performance computer ought to do the job. It doesn't need intelligence.
That's a very good point, Snake. Which brings me to the real reason. Peace Walker needs AI to make decisions regarding nuclear retaliation. It's what ensures perfectly mutual assured destruction.
I've heard all this before. You want a war between machines?
We'd never actually launched the first nuke, of course. It's strictly a counterattack system. Only a politician could make such an illogical decision as starting a nuclear war. Conversely, if an adversary launches a nuke at us, the AI will not fail to retaliate. Therefore, the adversary can't launch. The AI guarantees it.
Even so, launching nukes without authorization?
Boomer captains have the authority to launch if land communications are cut off. It's the same principle.
Not even the captain of a boomer can make that decision alone. The way I heard it, that's the only situation where insubordination is allowed.
Only because humans are imperfect. That's Coldman's line of thinking.
You're saying that machines don't make mistakes? That's a myth. Worse than that, it's blind faith.
We wouldn't put our faith, our fate, into the hands of any ordinary machine. That's what the AI is for. The decision to launch a retaliatory strike requires high-level judgment. You have to take into account not only the state of the war, but the entire world. And sometimes, you need to make a guess based on incomplete information.
Huh. You think an AI can do all that?
Yeah. At least Dr. Strangelove does.
El enfrentamiento con Peace Walker.
Peace Walker is fitted with several close-range weapons. We'd also planned for it to be able to enter enemy territory and self-detonate.
Wonderful. What exactly are we dealing with here?
Well, the flamethrowers for one thing. One in the front and one in the rear. Then there are the S-mines. They're like cluster bombs. It scatters them from its leg hatches. If you see those open, you better clear out quickly. And finally, the rockets. These can travel quite a distance, so stay sharp. On the other hand, it can't fire them from too close. But then again, there are those flamethrowers. It can also use its legs as weapons against any infantry on the ground.
Ouch.
But remember,
Ouch.
Peace Walker technically isn't complete. With just the reptile pod, it can only perform relatively simple maneuvers. They've got certain quirks, too. What's more, look carefully and you should be able to predict which attack is coming next.
Vale. Peace Walker con la unidad mamífero. O sea, con Ana cuatro patas, ¿no?
You have to stop Peace Walker from launching that nuke.
Calm down. What do I need to do?
To tell you the truth, I don't really know. The mammal pod has probably enhanced both its thought patterns and mobility. The S-mines, rockets, flamethrowers, They're all the same, but I don't know what else to say. You'll just have to stay sharp and watch for how it behaves before each of the attacks.
I'll give it a shot. There's no time for anything else.
Sorry I can't be more helpful. You can do it, Snake.
La necesidad de la locomoción bípeda.
Okay, but why does Peace Walker need to walk on 2 legs? I'd think treads would be good enough.
You'd be wrong. As you know, the terrain in Central America is rugged and complex, especially along the Caribbean coast of Costa Rica. You've got jungles, swamps, mountains, and the only way to get across all that terrain, no matter how rugged, is on legs.
Yeah, but wouldn't it be tough to cross a swamp, even on legs?
It wasn't easy, that's for sure. The reason we picked Costa Rica as a proving ground is because we can test it on every type of terrain.
Ok. El falso proyecto Peace Walker.
This Peace Walker project the CIA's talking about. You believed in it, huh?
Yeah, I believed. Actually, maybe I just wanted to believe.
What do you mean?
Here's how Coldman explained it. Peace Walker's a weapon for peace. One to ensure true nuclear deterrence. It'd be the anchor to bring stability to Central America. He told me, the nuclear weapon system you've built will never be used. It will forever stand vigil as an icon of peace. And to achieve that, he needed my bipedal locomotion technology. To be honest, I was flattered.
Flattered?
Wouldn't you be? My colleagues in the scientific community have never taken me seriously. They told me bipedal locomotion was a pipe dream, that it'd never amount to anything. It was the first time anybody recognized my work. How could I not be happy? And besides, it was my chance to surpass my father. To create nukes for peace. Or so I thought anyway.
But Coldman's really going through with it.
Yeah. Makes perfect sense, really. No one would give the project any notice unless they could prove that an unmanned system is capable of launching a nuke.
El motivo de lanzar un misil nuclear auténtico. Y esto sigue siendo parte del Peace Walker, ¿va? El motivo de lanzar un misil nuclear auténtico.
Why is Coldman going to launch a nuke? If all he wants to do is prove the AI retaliation system works, he doesn't need to put a live warhead on it.
I agree. He could demonstrate the system by launching the missile alone, without a warhead. I asked him the same thing at first. He said there was no point in using a dummy missile. That it'd take an actual nuclear launch to deter potential enemies. Launching the real deal gives him a leg up in negotiations with Langley. That's what he's really after.
Investigación sobre la locomoción bípeda.
I based the bipedal locomotion technology used in Peace Walker on Soviet research. Actually, I'll be honest with you. I stole most of the basic ideas behind it.
Soviet? Bipedal? You mean Granin?
You know him?
Yeah. I met him at his lab in Russia. He helped me out a little bit.
You met him? What were you?
He was head of the Granin Design Bureau, creator of countless Soviet weapons.
I'd hit a wall in my research at the time. Granin's ideas solved nearly all my problems.
There's nothing unusual about using somebody else's work to further your own research, is there?
As long as you cite it, yeah. But I wasn't in a position to do that. His research was classified at the highest level. Soviet research, no less.
So, you used it without telling anybody?
I wanted to show up my colleagues for once. The ones who never took me seriously. But you reap what you sow. Coldman seized on that vulnerability. Told me if I quit the project, he'd expose my larceny.
He had you by the balls, Doc.
Te tenía de las bolas. Granin.
How'd you get your hands on Granin's research?
That was also Coldman. He used his agency contacts to get a hold of it.
Giving you stolen information, then using it to blackmail you. Damn.
I knew it was Granin's work the minute I saw it. See, I'd been corresponding with him for a while.
Corresponding?
Letters. Between scientists doing the same kind of research. He always complained that nobody understood his ideas on bipedal locomotion.
Ah, so you're the American friend he was talking about.
Obviously, he didn't write a word about the technology in his letters, except for one time. If by chance anything should happen to me, I entrust my research to you. Better that than handing it over to these ignorant so-called scientists.
Huh. Sounds like him, all right.
Then one day, his papers actually came. It wasn't hard for me to imagine what had happened to him. I felt it was my duty to carry on his work after him. And also,
What?
I thought maybe combining his technology with mine could be a way to bring East and West together, like the docking of Apollo and Soyuz.
It'll never make the history books, and it's still not a reason to plagiarize.
You're right. You're absolutely right. I never had the courage to tell the truth, that's all. I always looked for excuses to cover it up.
Until now.
Huh?
You told me everything. You're no longer a coward.
El Metal Gear.
Metal Gear.
Huh? What about it?
You mumbled that when I first explained about Peace Walker. I'm curious what it meant.
Exactly what it says. Metal Gear.
It's a
Groningen
Metal
term.
Gear.
Granin did?
He thought of his technology as the metal gear that meshes infantry with artillery.
I like the sound of that. Metal Gear. It's got a nice ring to it. Better than an outright lie like Peace Walker, anyway.
El Shagohod.
Those papers the CIA gave you, was there any data on the Shagohod in there?
Shagohod?
A nuclear tank that launches IRBMs. It competed against Gronin's system for approval.
Oh, the thing with the rockets. Designed by a guy named Sokolov, right?
What's so funny?
No, I was just remembering some of the commentary Granin added to the Shagohod papers. You should have seen the way he badmouthed it. It was too conservative, too ugly.
I can imagine.
He was so angry when he wrote that, he smeared up the ink. And you know how shoddy the paper is over there to begin with.
I'll bet. That's Gronin, all right.
Imagine accelerating the launcher itself to 300 miles an hour to extend the range of an IRBM. As stupid as it sounds, it's a hell of a concept. Who but the Soviets would think of using a tank as the first stage of a rocket? I actually took a cue from the Shagohod when I developed the Pupa.
That hovercraft thing? You stole that one, too?
Give me a little credit. I only borrowed the concept. The technology is original. As it turned out, hover technology wasn't enough to handle all the terrain in Central America. It relied too much on brute force.
But the Shagohod was a major threat. That thing could corner like you wouldn't believe. Built pretty tough, too.
You sure know a lot about it.
Yeah, it almost did me in. I couldn't forget it if I tried.
Did you in? So you were the one who took it down. Wow! You really are amazing.
I didn't do it alone.
No, seriously, thank you. We might not be here today if they'd begun mass-producing that thing. Then again, they're hard at work now miniaturizing nuclear warheads. Pretty soon they won't even need an accelerated launcher like the Shagohod.
Great. That means they're that much closer to being able to launch from anywhere in the world.
El Basilisco.
Chico called Peace Walker the Basilisco.
Basilisco? Oh, right, Spanish. That's funny. I once used the codename Basilisk for the Peace Walker platform myself.
What for?
The class of lizards called basilisks can walk atop any type of terrain. In a pinch, they can even stand up on two legs and run across water. Perfect name
ese es un
for a system that can
basilisco,
walk
ok,
anywhere in
ya.
Central America, right? Plus, there are the legends.
What legends?
The basilisks of legend were highly venomous creatures. There's a story told by the ancient Romans. A knight slew a basilisk by piercing it with his spear. The creature's poison seeped up the spear and killed both horse and rider. Remind you of anything, Snake?
Nuclear deterrence.
Bingo. Kill it and you die along with it. Your hands are bound. I wanted Peace Walker to be like that.
You should know that people aren't that rational. Sometimes people do things that don't make sense. even when they know they're going to die. Or maybe it's because of that.
Maybe you're right. But that's exactly what I don't understand.
Ok. Ya, las pinches lagartijillas que corren sobre el agua. Ok, ok. Las dos unidades de la IA.
Peace Walker contains an assembly of 2 AI pods. One of them is the mammal pod, which Dr. Strangelove developed. The other's the reptile pod, which is mine.
What's the difference?
The reptile pod is the attitude control AI. If it's destroyed, Peace Walker grinds to a halt. The mammal pod is responsible for making the decisions regarding nuclear retaliation, reflex, and thought. One is the brainstem and cerebellum, the other the cerebrum.
So, the one that houses the will of the boss
would be the mammal pod.
La unidad reptil.
We call it the reptile pod for a reason. The parts of our brains that govern basic life and reflex developed ages ago, when our ancestors were still reptiles.
We were reptiles?
What?
Well, only at one stage of our evolution. The theory was proposed by the neuroscientist Paul MacLean.
Huh.
The reptile brain corresponds to the brainstem and basal ganglia in our brain. The reptile pod also incorporates the functions of the cerebellum.
So basically, it's the deep parts of the brain.
Dr. Strangelove came up with the name.
Ok. La unidad mamífero.
The part of our brain that developed after we became mammals is responsible for high-level brain functions.
Such as
Intelligence, judgment, even love.
That's high level, all right.
Location-wise, the mammal brain is on the outside of the reptile brain. The cerebral cortex is part of it. I think it's very telling that Dr. Strangelove named her pod Mammal. It's almost like she wants it to be more than just an advanced AI. What she really wants is for it to have a mind of its own.
Transmisión de datos al NORAD.
Snake, how much do you know about the U.S. Homeland Air Defense Network?
I don't know much about what goes on up in the sky. What I do know is that NORAD tracks Santa Claus on its radar.
Nice one. I didn't know you were a comedian, too.
Huh? No, I'm serious. It's true, NORAD tracks his... Listen to me. Every December they set up a hotline and...
Hijo de puta. Ya les había dicho que Big Boss cree en Santa Claus.
I get it.
He's real, I tell ya. He used to bring me presents and...
Oh, cosa. Otra vez. Santa Claus le trae regalos a Big Boss. Cosa. Una laguna en el sistema.
Okay, Snakey. As all good little boys know, keeping tabs on Santa Claus is a very important job for NORAD.
Hijo de puta.
But they also have another mission. The one they were created for. And the system they set up for that has been hijacked by Coldman.
You mean Peace Walker's fake data transmissions?
NORAD's early warning system is composed of DSP satellite-mounted
okay.
infrared sensors and an array of surveillance radar stations across North America. The network sends out warnings to NORAD at Cheyenne Mountain, where the data undergoes human evaluation. Peace Walker, on the other hand, has to make its retaliation decisions autonomously. So it's set up to automatically receive the same data as NORAD through covert channels. Those channels were also used on the test platform to telemeter the AI's decision-making. Peace Walker reversed the system to transmit a fake warning about incoming nuclear missiles outside the usual exercise schedule. I mean, the system could have used better safeguarding. Nobody's going to argue with that. But cracking the AI? That seemed unimaginable. And you can see what happened.
La autobiografía del Dr. Emmerich. Cigarrillos electrónicos, what?
Hey, Doc, what was that you were smoking in the lab? It looked like a cigarette, but it wasn't lit.
Oh, it's an electronic cigarette. I designed it myself. Pretty neat, huh?
Electronic cigarette.
Yep, a liquid in the filter that turns into vapor. and you inhale the microparticles.
So that was vapor.
I'd actually rather be smoking normal cigarettes, but not in that room. The smoke would wreck the precision equipment in there, ruin all its wiring. But the vapor is just steam. It doesn't contain tar or anything like that. So I can smoke it in the lab with no worries.
Nice.
Want to try one?
Nah, I'll stick with cigars.
Yeah, but...
I don't like imitations. The real thing's always better.
Okay. But you know, sooner or later, smoking's gonna become very unfashionable across the world. It hurts you and those around you. Electronic cigarettes might not seem so bad then.
Yeah, when that happens, I'll think about it.
Y ahora tenemos los vapes, la evolución. El impacto en los genes.
You said your dad was involved in the Manhattan Project, right?
Yeah?
And you think that's why you can't walk?
I don't know. Actually, you know, probably not. So far, nobody's found evidence that exposure to radiation in parents causes genetic defects in children, except for those exposed in the womb. Epidemiologically speaking, anyway.
That's the conclusion of the Atomic Bomb Casualty Commission.
Right. The ABCC commenced its study immediately after the war, and it's still ongoing.
Even now, 30 years later.
The effects of radiation exposure last a long time. I'm guessing it'll be another 10 years before we get a real verdict on whether it affects genes. Granted, it's the most massive study anybody's ever done. But that's really all it is, a study. The ABCC brought in bomb victims and ran tests on them, but they didn't treat them.
Really? Them too, huh?
At any rate, that's what my father made me believe when I was growing up.
Maybe it was tough for your dad to explain. Ever think of that?
Yeah, maybe. But this is my problem now, Snake. I have to face the nukes head on, whether I like it or not. My creations are being used for the wrong purposes. The onus is on me to stop it somehow. Help me, Snake.
Tu papel en la Mother Base.
Hey, as long as I'm here at Mother Base, why not assign me to the R&D team? You could use a guy like me.
Glad to have you on board. I'm sure Kaz is too.
Once I've got the necessary materials and design specs together, I should be able to start building you that bipedal weapon platform. Nothing would make me happier than for my research to help put a stop to Peace Walker.
Fine. La doctora Strangelove. Como Huey conoció a la doctora Strangelove.
So this Dr. Strangelove was at NASA?
Yeah. Well, actually, Strangelove left for DARPA not long after I joined.
And then the two of you ended up back together doing research in Costa Rica.
Not exactly together. We coordinated on a few things, but the research projects themselves were separate from each other. We had it worked out so that Dr. Strangelove handled the mammal pod, Peace Walker's cerebrum, while I did the rest.
That letter, something to do with your research?
Huh? No, it's yeah, it's a report. Research findings.
Research findings? Anything in there we could use against Peace Walker?
Nothing. Nothing at all. Just don't read it, okay? Promise me you won't?
Ups. La carta a Strangelove.
Did you, give that letter to Dr. Strangelove?
No.
Why not? I gave it to you for a reason. It's highly important information.
Sorry, I didn't exactly have an opportunity to play postman.
Well, next time you see her, you make sure she gets it.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Sure.
Better for you if she doesn't.
Snake!
What?
Tell me you didn't read the letter.
No.
You did!
I mean, you never know what kind of information could affect the outcome of an operation, right? So
you read the letter, after I specifically told you not to.
What do you expect people to do when you tell them not to read something?
I thought I knew you, Snake. I thought I could trust you. But now I see I was wrong.
Look, I'm sorry, but I just don't get what you see in her.
Well, I wouldn't expect a barbarian who opens other people's private correspondence to understand.
Fine then. Deliver it yourself.
Huh? What? No way. I could never...
Ah.
You've got a long way to go, Huey.
2001, una odisea en el espacio.
You ever see the movie 2001: A Space Odyssey?
Can't say I have.
Fantastic flick. The outer space special effects are incredible enough, but the depiction of AI is what really stands
¿Quién era la
out.
que le gustaban las
There's an AI.
películas
Yeah,
Paramedic?
a spacecraft pilot AI called Hal. It plays a major role in the story. Dr. Strangelove loves it too. Did I ever tell
Por
you
eso
about
le
the
llaman
time we
Hal
first
a
met up
Otaku,
in
¿no?
Costa Rica?
No.
Hal Emmerich.
You know how she hates men, right?
David.
So we hadn't seen each other since NASA, and we just weren't hitting it off. Until we started talking about Hal. And then she started going off. The way she talked about it was so intellectual. The way she analyzed every plot detail, how passionate she was about the AI. It made me fall for her all over again. You know what? Here's to Hal for bringing her and me closer together. You should ask her about 2001 too. Then you'll understand just how amazing she is.
Amazing, huh?
Hal. Now there's a good name.
Hal Emmerich. ¿Cómo vencer las armas con inteligencia artificial? ¿Cómo vencer a la pupa?
The pupa increases its mobility by using compressed air to hover its rear section. It moves by means of its treads and boosters. Those boosters also provide the propulsion needed for high-speed movement.
So if I take out the boosters, it won't be able to charge.
Right. I suppose you could also avoid its attacks by lying down beneath it. The pupa is also equipped with electrical shock units. It uses these devices, they look like lightning rods, to direct discharge.
Guess I should pull the plug on those too.
Good idea. What else? Well, as with all AI machines, you can incapacitate the entire unit by taking out the AI itself. If you can get the hatch open and climb inside, you can pull out the memory boards. Lights out AI. We may be able to use those boards for ourselves. If you can, try and get inside the AI pod and have a crack at it. You won't be able to do that until you've damaged it enough to stop it from moving first.
Got it. Usual tactics first, then.
Va que va. Esta información es útil, ¿eh? El Chrysalis fue el que vencí más rápido, pero no entendí cómo. Ese sí necesita información de cómo vencerlo.
Being an unmanned vehicle, the Chrysalis can perform extreme G-force maneuvers that standard aircraft can't. It'll be difficult to counterattack once it's coming at you. I should mention that it's also equipped with a railgun.
A what?
A weapon
Okay.
that fires rounds using electromagnetic force in lieu of gunpowder.
Wait, an electric weapon?
Not exactly. The rounds themselves are conventional shells. It creates force by running an electric current through a magnetic field. Fleming's left-hand rule. Didn't they teach you that at school?
Not at mine.
Oh. Anyway, as the railgun uses electromagnetic force, it needs to charge before firing. Once you see it starting to charge, take immediate evasive action. Also, as with the pupa, destroying the AI will put the unit out of commission. Do enough damage and it'll have to land. Use that opportunity to get in the AI pod. Wait too long and it'll start to repair itself. Be sure to shoot the hatch the moment it lands.
I think I can handle that.
Pero no me dio información de nada. El cocoon.
During development, I had trouble figuring out how to handle the cocoon's excess heat. I'm embarrassed to admit it, but the radiators are most likely its weakest points. They're not heavily armored, as heat wasn't dissipating properly.
Where are they?
There are multiple radiators on the upper and lower sections. Just look for the exhaust fumes. Only thing is, the upper radiators typically aren't exposed. You should probably shoot for the lower ones first. You could move under its body to access the lower ones, but the cocoon is capable of vertical movement, so be careful not to get crushed. Watch out for missiles and hedgehogs, too.
Hedgehogs. Anti-submarine multiple spigot mortars?
I adapted the technology for use as a surface weapon. Both the missiles and hedgehogs take time to load, though. It can't fire a hedgehog until the lamp comes on. As for the missiles, watch for the way the hatches move.
That'll be my chance to get close.
When the hatches open, out come the missiles.
Ok. Esos son los datos de Huey. Ah, no, nos quedan dos. Qué buena onda. Los datos de los archivos de Cecil. Y ahí. Las aves de Costa Rica. Biografía y Friends, ya. Y queda lo de la doctora Strangelove. Y luego los archivos de datos. Pero yo creo que esto los vamos a ver mañana. Ya me está dando sueñito. Pero bueno. Y voy a dejar esto por ahora.